Can we give these young men a round of applause for putting this together? Fellas, I want to thank you all for being here. I was thinking about this topic and I'm thinking, man, we're talking about Martin Luther King Jr., an individual who is beyond measure in the ways in which he poured into not only his community, but the country. And sometimes for a high school student, this is hard because we're talking about a topic and an individual that's so grand of a scale. How do we relate it to our own lives? If you're with me, say yeah. Yeah. If you're following, say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. But one thing that I thought about, and it reminded me of my own journey, Martin Luther King had a quote. And he said that intelligence without character is nothing. So intelligence plus character equals true education. And I thought about Jesuit high school, being a man for others. Then I thought about my journey to Princeton University in the service of all nations. And I found this streamline of a notion that says, in order for us to be the individuals that we are supposed to be, there has to be an element of service in everything we do. And so I thought about today and I said, man, I think we should first and foremost start by reminding ourselves of the power of us. Of like being an individual and bringing that to the table. By a show of hands, how many of you have ever been in a situation where your perspective or your background, your insight, the way in which you looked at something was different than the room that you walked in? By a show of hands. Oh, I need the elbow to lock it. Come on now. Right? So we've all been in a situation where who we are and what we brought to the table wasn't necessarily fitting in that room. But what I've thought about with Martin Luther King is he got to this notion that says, if you can own who you are truthfully as a leader, you are now doing the work that you are supposed to do as a leader. I want to tell you a quick story, and I'm going to go back into my story a little bit, but it just reminds me of the power of being you. I remember graduating from Princeton University out in New Jersey. By the way, if anybody is going to school on the East Coast, it's cold out there, man. So just be prepared. So I'm graduating, right? And I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to step out into the world, but I really didn't know what I wanted to do. And I was a part of this program that I got involved in. It was called Coach for College. And in college, I played 3 sports: track and field, basketball, and football. And so in the program, they took Division I athletes from all over the country, and they brought them together. It was a cohort of about 12 of us. So it was very selective. And they sent us to a rural area in Vietnam. The city was called Da Nang, Vietnam, right? And it was a 22-hour flight, 7,000 miles away. And I remember taking the trip, and the idea of Coach for College was simple. Take the skills, take who you are, and go to a place, a rural area, and pour in service. So I'm excited, right? I packed my bags. I'm ready. I'm headed to Vietnam. This is amazing. The trip, we go out there, and I remember getting there. I mean, it's a beautiful country. The beaches are amazing. The water is clear. The food is amazing. But it's funny because after we get off the flight and we're on the small van going to where we're going, we pass all of that. Like we're going in the heart of Vietnam. I'm talking things I've never seen before, a different type of rural area, but it was amazing. So I remember we're working with young students, and the first day happens and we get off the bus and there's a cohort of us. And so I'm excited, right? And my job is to coach basketball and to teach English. So I get there, I'm excited, and I walk off the bus, and every other coach goes and everything is good. But when I get off the bus, something different happens. Jesuit high school family, follow me. The young students are all in 4th and 5th grade, and they're looking at me like, who is this guy? And later I find out, in the area that I go to in rural Vietnam, they've never seen melanin like this. They've never seen a black man up close. Like literally in that country, the young people that grew up have only seen what was around them. So the way in which they're looking at me is like, he exists. Oh my goodness. I walk this way, they go, wow. I'm like, this is gonna be a long month. So I'm like, okay, it's different, right? They're seeing someone who is different than them, and it's a completely different experience. First day happens, and they're out playing basketball, and they're hanging, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna be here for about a month. I'm gonna have to figure this out. So the young cats are playing, they're playing basketball, and I'm like, I got it. By a show of hands, how many of you have younger siblings? Like really young siblings. So check this out. So we go out and they're playing basketball, and I'm like, all right, cool. Check up. Give me the ball. So the young guy comes up, and I'm about 6'3", he's about 4'11". I got the ball. ISO. Everybody clear out. So he's guarding me. I don't know if you guys know Tracy McGrady, but I give him one of the behind the back. I go baseline. I promise you, who's on the basketball team here? I dunk on this little kid like he doesn't exist. I slam on this kid, and it was a moment of silence, like you guys right now. The kid gets up. Do it again! Do it again! He's excited. Now they're laughing. I'm like, all right, next up. Little ladies on the court. I'm like, no, ladies can get it too. Come here, come on. Baseline, jab. Do it again! The second day I get off that bus, Jesuit high school family, listen to me here. The second day I get off the bus, remember the first day, the second day they're on the side of the bus like this. Isaac. Where's Isaac? Where's Isaac? Let's play. And I tell that story to you for a particular reason. It told me something as I go along my journey, even to this day. It was a moment that I used, being my truly authentic self, to make a connection with someone who was from a different world than I was. I didn't see them as someone from Vietnam. I saw them as someone like a little brother or a little sister. Be honest, by show of hands, how many of you would dunk on your little brother, your little sister when you're playing? Come on now, am I by myself? Hold on, look around so I know I'm not the bad guy. Hold on, everybody hold your hands up. Who here would just dunk on their little sibling because they know that when they compete, you're making them better? I need the hands, right? If you're with me, say yeah. If you're with me, say oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hear me here. When I was on that trip, in that moment, the reason why I'm telling you that story is because I learned that on my own journey as an individual, it was as if something was taught to me in that way, and it said, Isaac, you're gonna be sent in different situations, different rooms, and different environments. And when you're in those different environments, I'm not gonna put you around people that look like you, talk like you, think like you, act like you, come from where you come from. And in that moment, they are going to look at you in a way where they see a difference, but I need you to be a leader and use who you are authentically to make the connection. This is what it means to be authentically you.